a very good evening, everybody, from Gulf Harbour Radio. Patricia and David here after a very nice day. It's been dry, very high humidity, so not great for people like me trying to get laundry dry. But it's, in fact, 71% relative humidity, which for us is quite high. The barometer is 1024, steady. Only 3 knots of southwest wind, and I'm sure there'll be a few moans from the boats at sea. But, well, it's better than 43, isn't it? And the temperature, did I say the temperature? 14 degrees, and it's very high overcast. Actually, there's probably less than 80% cloud cover, but it looks like 80% looking out our window, which is to the north. So it looks like a very peaceful day out there on the water. I've been looking at most of the positions except for boats like Mimu and Cabana, who don't have an AIS showing, but everybody else seems to be doing pretty well. Natombi is almost putting the anchor down or getting the mooring ball or whatever. They have finally arrived, so well done you two guys. And a couple of boats left Marsden today. They were Rewa and Three Little Birds. Nobody has left from Opua. So the rest of you are all out there in the ocean somewhere, those that have left this week. So what I'm going to try and do is be organised so that David doesn't jump up and down. It'll be very interesting to hear the reports tonight because the boats up north might have, well, just looking at it, might be slightly south-southwest, and then the boats further south are southeast. So we'll be carefully looking at the reports, and I'm going to try and do it from north to south to try and keep things organised. So I'm going to start with calling Belina, Gulf Harbour.
Yeah, this is Belina. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Benno and Marlene. Go ahead.
Yeah, my position is 3026 south, 177, 37 east. Course over ground is 030, speed over ground 5 knots. The wind is 5 knots or less from the south-southwest or south. These are less than 1 meter. Cloud cover 100% and 1024 on the bar. Over.
Yeah, thank you for a good report, Benno. And yes, it's going to be very interesting seeing which of the models is going to be the most accurate, because it is quite tricky. And as you said, your wind at 3026 south and 17737 east. Your course is 030 at 5 knots, and the wind, well, up to 5, less than 5, south-southwest to south, and seas less than 1 metre, 100% cloud cover, and 1024. Well, I think the crew won't complain about the conditions, over.
No, it's okay. It's very easy, and but we prefer to stay. So we hope the wind will pick up a little bit tomorrow. So let's sail again. Over.
Yeah, well, we'll see what David comes up with, but I think you might be lucky. I'll just take the other two that are not too far from you. There's Champagne and then Images In. So Champagne, Gulf Harbour.
Champagne. We're in a sort of similar situation really. My position is 30 degrees and 30 minutes south, 175 degrees east, 28 minutes. Course over ground is 20 degrees true. Speed over ground is about 5.5 knots. Wind's very light, between 3 and 4, and wind direction has been backing all day. It's now southeast. Over.
Okay, so Champagne, 3030 south, 17528 east, and 020 true course at 6.5, with very light 3 to 4, from the southeast. So it looks like there's, we were just saying 30 degrees seems to be the line where it changes. So I guess, all is good using fuel, but apart from that, all well, over?
Yes, we are using a bit of fuel, but yeah, all good, and we're just enjoying the seas being a bit further than they have been. So yeah, we're all good here. Champagne.
Okay, yep. It's always nice to have a peaceful day after a bit of energetic stuff. Okay, clear with champagne and on to images in. Images in.
Images in.
Yeah, go ahead, over.
We're currently motor sailing, or motoring at 6.5 knots. 030 true is our heading. We're at 30 degrees 49 south, 17625 east. And we've got sort of 5 knots from the west, but at the present it's pretty light.
Light and variable, yes. So images in. I'm never too sure whether I'm talking to Matt or Nick, but anyway, you are at 3049 17625 east. And the course is 030 true at 6.5 knots with the motor doing its job, and about 5 knots from the west. Well, that'll be interesting. David's going to talk about wind direction, the true and apparent and all those sorts of things later on. So that'll be interesting.
Tomorrow you should have about 10, 12 knots.
David said you're going to get 10 or 12 knots tomorrow, so that will put a smile on your face, over.
Yeah, it's been a long day at the motor. We had a good cabin through the night last night, which is good. But nothing sort of doing people.
Oh, so you had most of the night sailing, so that was good. All right, well, let's hope that what he predicts comes true and you have a good day's sailing tomorrow. All right, we'll clear with images in. Cabana. George, are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, Patricia. This is Cabana. Is 30 degrees 44 south, 176, 53 degrees east. We did have a lovely sail last night, and like others, we're enjoying flat seas and
Okay, and unfortunately someone decided to start up a little bit of backdoor on me, but stopped. I've got your position 3044 and 17653 east. Could you give me your course and speed again? Over.
our course is 0.80 and our speed motoring is 6.5 knots. Can you copy that?
Yep, got all that. 028 true and motoring at 6.5 knots. Yep, seems to be the favourite motoring speed for most people. 6.5. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just comfortable, isn't it? Okay, and I presume all is well on board, and you're probably looking forward to a bit of wind tomorrow as well. So hopefully that comes to fruition. Over.
Yes, all good on board. It was great to do sailing last night. It was a comfortable night tonight. Over.
Yeah, it will be a comfortable night, which is actually quite nice, isn't it? Okay, we'll clear with Cabana, and boy, Cheyenne is really moving up on you guys. Cheyenne, you on frequency, Jim?
Good evening, this is Cheyenne. I have readable copy. How copy me?
We've got good copy on you, and we've been talking about where we've come across the boat Cheyenne before. Did you ever do any Pacific Cups in the 90s? Over.
Negative, but I did a lot of single-handed racing out of San Francisco and Coastal Cups and things of that nature. So the boat was pretty active in the racing scene in the early 90s. Over.
Oh, well, that's where it is then, because we sailed from San Francisco, and David was sailing there on many Pacific Cups actually until we left. Actually, we did the year we left in 1998, but he said, I definitely know that boat. And boy, you are moving along very well. Go ahead with your report, over.
Okay, I missed a little bit of that in the engine noise and some QRO on frequency, but I got most of that. Anyway, my position at the present moment is 31 degrees, 29 minutes south, 176 degrees, 26 minutes east. I'm motoring at a fuel conserving 5 knots. We're out of wind about midday today. We're sailing till about midday nicely, and then the wind just died out. So we have ranging around, 5-6 knot tailwind in the southwest. It's not very useful for going anywhere. Let's see. The sea is pretty settled out. There's about a 1 meter long period swell, but the sea stays, the wind sea is settled out, and all is well on board.
Yeah, sounds it. I missed your course. Go ahead with course, over.
Okay, Roger. Course is 020 degrees 2. I'm still aiming at maneuver route, and I'm not sure if it's going to be advisable to stop. So after the check-in, if there's any new info on that, I'm all ears, over.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody mention anything to me, and I'm going to send off a couple of emails tonight for boats that I know there. Margarita has just left Minerva. They were there for a few days. They're on their way from Minerva, and they will definitely arrive in the not too, well, probably, 3 days. They're a catamaran. So we'll, if nothing else, we'll get something from Margarita.
Maybe too late.
Maybe too late. So, yeah, I'm going to try and just contact people. But if anybody has any information and they don't want to talk on the radio, please send us an email, ghradio@extra, which is xtra.co.nz. We just need to know whether anybody has had any problems checking into Fiji if they have been in Minerva. So we really appreciate that information coming through as soon as you can. Okay, Jim. All right, we'll have another peaceful night, and we'll...
I would doubt that this...
Yes, David says he'll doubt that there's any problems. Fiji is very anxious to have everybody there. So doubt that there's problems, but we really would like to get some confirmation. Okay, anything else, Jim?
Nothing more for me. Thanks for the efforts on this. Thanks for the check-in, and Cheyenne up to the site.
Okay, clear with Cheyenne, and let's look for Mimu, Gulf Harbour. Mimu, Alan, are you on frequency? Really would like to know, because your AIS has gone on the blink, and nothing since the 29th of June. So Mimu, if anybody knows where Mimu is, they can get in touch with me shortly. Okay, let's have a look for Lupan, Gulf Harbour. Ooh, very, very light. I might try and hold you until I can get a relay, Pele. It's very, very light. I don't think I'll be able to copy. I'll just stand by one. Y2K, Gulf Harbour. Oh, I've got light copy on you, but you are readable, Max. You are readable. Go ahead. Over.
I heard that you say over, but it is possible to understand you. Over.
Okay, I'm not... go ahead, Max. Go ahead. I can copy you. Over.
Right.
It's true.
Okay, copy, no problem. Yeah, position 3329 south, 176
Okay, all copied, thank you, all copied. And Y2K is at 3329 south, 17601 east, course 025 true at 6.5 knots, motor sailing. 5 to 8 knots, it looks as if it's just died away, east-southeast. Sea next to nothing, half a metre, southeast. 16 degrees, which is pretty chilly, but it will get warmer. 1022 and overcast skies. So all copied, Max, all copied. Thank you. Anything else? Over. Okay, there is another voice there I think is helping out, but I'm having a struggle with you too. So we'll clear with Y2K. Alora, Diana, you hold frequency.
I don't have the best copy on you, but how do you read that?
You're certainly lighter than you were yesterday, but I have copy. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi everybody, this is Marcus, Diana, and Daddy on Aurora. Our current position is 30 degrees 0 south, 176 degrees 5 degrees east. On a heading of 355 true. Course we're going 6.8 knots, and we got a 1019 barometer. Mesmerizing conditions out here as everybody. We play some music on our foredeck, and we have our close sails for tomorrow if that gets to happen, and everyone knows on board.
All right, sounds like a very pleasant sail on Alora at the moment. 3002 south, 17653 east, 355 true course, and 6.8 knots, 1019. And they've got as far away from the engine as possible and are on the foredeck listening to music. All right, sounds a very peaceful way to spend the sunset. Over.
Yeah,
Roger, Roger. Okay, we'll clear with Alora. Gone with the wind, gone with the wind. Any copy, Annie? Okay, I'm going to ask somebody who's got good copy on Lupan for a relay. Did anybody copy Lupan before? Over.
Relay, Cheyenne, I have good copy.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Go ahead and pick them up, please. Over.
Roger that. Lupan. This is Cheyenne relaying for the net. Do you copy me, over?
Oh
shit, we've gone off stream.
I should hold off on my side for tomorrow.
Okay, I copied all of that except course over ground. Can you repeat course over ground? I copied 0202. Let me give the route back and confirm this. Position 3301 south, 17547 east. 10 knots through wind speed from southeast, you said. Flow less than 1 meter from the southeast also. You're heading course over ground, 0202, 100% clouds, and speed over ground with 7.5 or maybe just 7 knots. Is that correct, over? Roger that, 7.5 knots. So is there the rest of that after it, ever? Alright, thank you for the check here. Let's see, Jackson Claire, did you copy my recap over?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Jim. And yes, he's. I was surprised. I could actually hear him a little bit, but it's 8 megs. Is I just need people to be a lot closer to 30 degrees, and I was actually surprised to get you so well at 31.5. So thanks for the relay. And yes, I've got him, and Rubicon's not too far away from them, and Gone with the Wind is down at 3434 and 17527 for those that are following their progress. Okay, is there anybody else wanting to call Gulf Harbour Radio? Please call in now.
This is someone over.
Good evening, Paul. Yeah, good signal from you up there in the island there. How's everything with you guys? Over?
Yeah, that's about, we arrived on the island, we're just on the west part of the main island. Very nice village here, and very nice women as well, and children. And a bit longer, and maybe to the lower island in a week or so, but at the moment,
Yeah, it sounds good and not as crowded. There's about 10 boats at Falanga, and there's just you, and on the AIS it shows a Dutch boat. So, yep, it looks quite a pleasant place to be. So good that you are enjoying it. The wind looks reasonably strong outside, but you've got quite a sheltered position by the look of it. Over?
Yeah, that's what we were looking for, and also what ACSDs that we've been talking for a while, and they told us to
Yeah, okay. All right, well, enjoy the rest of the stay there. And I'm going to clear with you and pass the microphone to David to see what's going on.
So I'm going to do this thing tonight or do it tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh, you can't do it tomorrow. You're not here tomorrow.
Yeah, we're debating on, I had some information I wanted to pass, some basic stuff. Well, anyway, start off with Fiji, since Paul is there and coming in loud and clear. And just to tell him, if he doesn't already know, that Fiji still has a strong wind warning, still in force for the Kendabu and Batuira passages. Most of the Yasawas, the Mamanukas, and southwest Viti Levu waters. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, and along with that, rough seas and moderate southerly swells. For the rest of Fiji waters, expect southeast about 15 to 20 knots for the next day or so. My warning, this is not Fiji Met, for Tuesday the 5th, we were talking about strong winds up there. It still looks like that will be the case. I see southeast winds 25 to 30 Tuesday the 5th, and also the same for Wednesday the 6th. So keep that in mind. Check out your anchorage, and hopefully things won't be too bad, but there will be some wind. Now,
Want to have it for a minute?
hang on.
While he's turning the page, I will just give you some good news, Jim, and all of the island cruising boats that can hear me. A big hello to you from Vicky, who advises that there have been no problems so far for Minerva, and that's for all the island cruising boats that stopped. No one in Fiji asked, so that is good news as far as they know, and there was a reasonable number of boats stopped at Minerva. They were not asked when they got to Fiji. Thank you very much, Vicky. Good that you're listening and can help out with that information. Back to David.
Yeah, well, this is sort of a bit of a small lesson, I suppose, and in a way, so many of you are experienced, it's like trying to teach you how to suck eggs. You are going to know most of this, but it has to do with variation down here in the Southwest Pacific. Particularly, we get a lot of questions from the foreign boats, particularly the ones that have been stuck in New Zealand for 2 years and have forgotten pretty much everything that they've been reading about and whatnot. But our variation here is east. Variation is east. And for those who don't know, and I doubt that that would be the case, but anyhow, it's the difference between what your magnetic compass reads and what the true direction would be on your chart. As an example, the lines of longitude on the chart, they're reflecting true directions. So if you are, say, going to Fiji and are running up, we'll say the date line 180, your compass would definitely not read 180 or north. It would read about 020 degrees. And remember the simple little thing, east is least. I'm sure you've all heard about that. So you always subtract easterly variation from true direction to get your magnetic direction. Another example, if you're in Fiji, where the variation up there, it's about 13 degrees east, roughly, and you want to sail from, say, Gao in the Koro Sea, about the middle of the Koro Sea, you want to go to Suva, and taking a look at your chart, the direction is about 270 degrees true, but your compass direction would be 257. So again, with east least, you subtract the 13 from the 270. Now, where this is going, as you're sailing, and I ask on the radio what direction is the wind, I'll do this to see if the models are in agreement. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, and it's kind of important to get this info for me, and it helps you too, because then I let you know what models happen to be better than others for the time period. But this is where we run into a bit of trouble with true wind and apparent wind. Again, the suck eggs thing, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Apparent wind is the wind direction that your little fly on the top of the mast is pointing, the wind that you feel in your face when you're moving through the water. Apparent wind speed is what your basic wind instruments will say. Older boats don't have a lot of the sophistication that the newer boats have. Apparent wind speed and apparent wind direction is not what the weather model says. And this information then becomes useless to me, as I can't compare models with actual conditions because I am not getting actual conditions. So here's an example of useless data. I'll ask for wind speed and direction. The watchkeeper goes topside, looks at the mast fly, then the compass reads off the magnetic direction, then looks at the knot meter. Well, I can't use that data. It's useful information, but not for purposes of model comparison. So now, a lot of the yachts do have sophisticated instruments or newer instruments where they do convert apparent wind speed to true wind speed and also convert apparent wind direction with true wind direction. Now we're in business. I get what I need, and then I can compare the models. So then those yachts who do have these instruments and want to take the time to give me the data, I would be very grateful. I won't need your model input. I get this myself. So during our sked, if we do ask if you're willing to participate, to give me the actual true wind speed and true wind direction and the time that you've done that observation, that would be very, very helpful. However, if you do want to gather data during the day yourselves, that would be great too. The only thing that you have to do is to tell me the model that you used and the time that you took the observation. And for your info, I'm almost done now, so don't go to sleep yet. So for your info, just before COVID, I did this sort of analysis for Fiji waters. I've done it more times than that, but it was just before COVID struck and nobody was going anywhere. But comparing actuals with Predict Wind's proprietary models, I was quite interested in that because we were getting a lot of questions about those particular models. And quite interesting results were obtained when I did that sort of thing. I'm not going to talk about that on the air. That wouldn't be appropriate. But anyway, you can't go wrong with the basic standbys of the GFS and ECNWF. There's others you could use, but those two are really, you just can't go too far wrong with them. The other comparisons that I've done, one thing did come through very clearly. Model skill or accuracy varied by not only the time of the year, but the location as well. As an example, one model would be consistently better than another one, but 5 degrees or so difference in location, almost the opposite occurred. The model that didn't do so well the first time around did better than the other model when the location changed. So this is why I'm never able to answer the question, what model is best? Because they do vary for lots of reasons. So hopefully a lot of you have heard this. And again, it would be helpful if I got this information. I keep a log of all of it, and it just helps me help you actually. And I will share the information as well at the end of this. So we've only got about 6 or 7 days. Most of you will be up to Fiji, so it's just not that long that you would have to do this if you want to. And then when you're up in the islands, it'll work up there too. It's always quite interesting to see which models handle the orographics in the various island groups and whatnot. You'd be amazed at at how the models will differ and how wrong they can be depending upon what type of land area, hills, and that sort of thing that you've got. So sorry to bore you with that, but that's it for this little mini lesson, or whatever you want to call it. And with that, I will give it over to the boss.
All right. Well, we have had 8 good reports tonight, so that'll keep you quiet tomorrow, won't it? So, and because his favourite fishing show is no longer on at 5 o'clock, the ITM fishing show, he'll actually be on air tomorrow, which will be quite unusual. He's sort of suffering withdrawal symptoms from it. Actually, we haven't heard of anybody on passage fishing at the moment. I guess, 6.5 knots is okay speed for trailing a line, isn't it?
Yep.
You should be able to get something. Keep you not getting too bored. I'll just do another call for Mimu, Gulf Harbour. No, nothing heard, and we didn't hear him this morning either. So we'll hopefully. Does anybody know or have a position from VHF for Mimu? Could they come now? Nothing heard. Okay, everybody, we'll let you. Maybe you put them all to sleep with your little talk.
I bet.
Okay. Cheers, everybody, and we will be back again tomorrow night, same time, same place. And until then, enjoy a peaceful night and hopefully a little bit more wind tomorrow. Cheers, all.
They should go to sleep.